So let's look at an example. So as the example that I have here is I have a calculator feature, it's my feature, and 3 scenarios. I can add 3 to 0, I can add 3 to 5, and I can subtract 3 from 5. Then I have my steps, where calculator, I can add, I can subtract, and then what the result should be. And here is the file that I can run as a JUnit test. So if we run this, then everything is green and everything works fine. So let's say I want to add some more tests. So one thing I can do is, let's say I want to do another subtract. So I just copy paste, and now I do 5 minus 5, and that should be 0. Now I have already the steps for these texts here, so I don't have to do anything in my steps. The only thing that I changed was the parameters. So I can run again, and everything should run. And indeed, everything is green. Now let's say I want to multiply. So here's my calculator, and it also has a multiply method. So I go back to my features, and now let's add a multiply. So let's start the calculator at 5, and then I multiply with 5. The outcome should be 25. Now this sentence here, or this text here, I multiply with, is not in my steps. In my steps I only have I add and I subtract, but not I multiply with. Now if we run the test now, then what you see, even though it's green, the last one has not run. And it basically says here, the step I multiply with 5 is undefined. Here also, if we look here, there were undefined steps, and it creates the code snippet that I need. He said when I multiply with an integer. So I can just copy this in my steps, so I don't have to write it myself. I go to my steps here, and let's put it here. And I have now, instead of this, I have to write now calculator dot multiply, and here it says int1, that is generated. Here I use value, so let's use value. So I make this value and this value, and then everything should work, because that's the only text that I changed. And you see what Cucumber itself, it uses this int here, this expression. You can also use this, whatever you want. Now if I run it now, everything runs fine. Now I can also do the multiply. So let's say I want to change something here. So I'm talking with the product owner, and it says that the outcome should be, it's not clear. So I want to change that to the value of the calculator is now, for example. So that means for this text here, I don't have a step, so it will complain. So I can run again. And I see here now, then the value of the calculator is now with an int. That's not available. So I can add it, copy it, go to my steps, and it's basically here. And it does exactly this line here. Create a calculator with that. Here it's now integer, so let's make it a value. And now everything should work again. Yeah, and everything works again. Now this is not nice because in my feature here I have a calculator with value. Here is still I have a the value of the calculator is now, and here I still have the outcome should be. So better would then be do it the same everywhere. So I change my scenarios. And if I do that, then I can remove this because this is not used anymore. And now it says it misses something. I have a calculator with value int. And oh, I changed the wrong one. So that's correct. This should stay here. And this one doesn't work then. I made a mistake here. This should go instead of this. The last. So instead of the outcome should be, I now have the value of the calculator is now. So this one I can remove now. And then everything works again. So don't write these steps yourself. You just write the feature, you run it, and then Cucumber will tell you which steps are missing.